Hello there and welcome. And I am very excited to announce that I have a special guest with me. Hello, Nagano.
Hello?
Pripyat, and congratulations, because I think the entirety of Russia has been celebrating this week. I'm not talking about the victory against Spain, of course. I'm just talking about your qualification for GCS2. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, how did that feel? Doing it in such great fashion against Von Ivan and then Von Asten. Did it feel good?
Yeah, I feel nice.
So I've got to remember to talk a little bit slowly because although you do speak English, you're Russian and not many Russians speak any English. So let's talk a little bit about the semi-final. And against Von Ivan this is. We're going to talk about game one when it was your Soviets versus his OKW. I mean, what were your takeaway thoughts from this game?
Nah, and I did good in the beginning by the bleeding manpower from one.
Yep.
I wiped Google and did few good pushes, but I lost by map control and one managed to make the fast looks.
He did, yeah. I was really surprised by that, and I thought, oh my god, Von Ivan does it again. He loses the early game, but he's still able to somehow win. So we're going to transition to the middle game now and look at the mid game. What was it that really helped you get into a good position in this one?
Yeah, one totally lost by the infantry in this game, and he had no veterancy for forks and for Sturmpaniers. He had only good vehicles, and that's helped for me to control VPs and some territories. So
yeah,
it was fine for me.
You had great victory point control, as you say, and it seemed although Von Ivan won in vehicles, you won in infantry. So, congratulations, good game.
Thanks.
What went wrong in game two? You know, you were doing so well. Firstly, why did you choose Wehrmacht?
Because I was training Wehrmacht and for some reason I was sure I will win as Wehrmacht. And I just failed with map control, with controlling my fuel. One did a very good job.
He did. I was surprised
pushing my fuel.
With pushing your fuel, right? I was surprised you didn't go OKW because I've always thought Nagano's OKW, best tournament OKW. So it was interesting to me. So he pushed your fuel a lot in the early game, and he seemed to be playing a lot more serious, a lot more better with infantry. Is there any other defining moments from that game that you remember?
Yeah, when he crashed, he crashed my base.
He did.
KV1.
It's a scary thing to have the KV1 on your base. There's not much you can do about it, right?
Yeah, one actually did few good flanks in the early and middle game. I wasn't ready for this.
No. I remember when you had 4 grenadiers going around the tier 3 and the KVs chasing them. What were you thinking at this time?
I was sure the game is done. Turning around.
Yeah, I guess you're already thinking about the deciding ace game, the game number 3 at this point, I guess. So let's go over to that then. So we've got a 20-minute game. It's a different map, Faymanville approach. What do you think going into this one as Soviets?
I just found to play the most simply and most safest.
And let's see how well he...
Just
play simple, play safe, and...
yeah, play by situation. I just want to try the push one as back as possible and get the fast T70.
Yeah, nice standard textbook Soviet play, and it really seemed to work. And I think we'll come back to this a little bit later in the final, because there's definitely one game we could probably watch all of together, and it wouldn't add much length to the interview. You know what I mean? I bet you can guess which game I'm talking about. 4 minutes. That's a pretty good one to think about. But before we go there, and before we talk about the final against Von Asten, let's talk a little bit about the first tournament, Barbarossa, and we'll have a little look at your games, because I remember you actually lost to Von Asten in the quarter-final.
Yeah, right.
What was different that time?
I totally failed my faction pick and strategy. I just did everything wrong and failed my OKW play. That's why I picked. This is why I picked the Asher against one, because I failed as my OKW against Von Asten.
Oh, okay. So you've lost a little bit of confidence in that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's crazy to me, considering I have usually thought of you as the best tournament OKW. But that's how good Wehrmacht feel. But it seems like your Soviets are strong, so you've got them to fall back on anyway. So you can always try and get victory point control. But this isn't about obviously your losses. You're here because you won. So after you got to this this quarterfinal and you lost to Von Asten, you came back stronger 2 weeks later, and you got all the way to the final with Von Asten again. What were your thoughts coming into this final? Did you do much to prepare for Von Asten?
I actually screamed a lot with Von Asten before the tournament. I actually know how he play, and I was ready for him.
Do you think Von Asten has a lot of respect for you because he looks up to you? You've scrimmed with him over the past few years. You've helped him out. Is this some ways the student meets the teacher and the teacher knows a little bit more, maybe?
Not really. I think we are equal with him.
Nice. You have respect for him too, so he's definitely grown as a player, hasn't he?
Yeah. He grew a lot.
Definitely has. I was surprised to learn he's actually a similar age to us. We're all in our mid-20s, aren't we? We're not kids. Because Von Asten came into the scene a little bit later, I always assumed he was a kid, right? He was like 17, 18, but he's a similar age. So maybe you'll, after scrimming with him for so long, you'll be able to meet him in September. And have a vodka, sure. Maybe. So I'm in the game right now. I've pretty much picked the game at hand. It's the game 3 that I've picked, but we all know what happened in that one, I guess. Let's have a little look at the big game, the one I cast on my own when I was really tired and a little bit. I had a quick drink of whiskey just to get me through. This was a long game. The 50-minute game. Crossroads, yours Soviets, his Wehrmacht. Talk us a little bit about I just want to ask about the IS-2 and your thoughts on it, the big heavy tank.
Yeah, I like this tank a lot. It's the biggest MP bleed for Wehrmacht, especially. And it doesn't need to build any tier for this tank, just wait for 13 CPs. But in this game, it's totally failed.
Yeah.
I mean, I did not notice this in game, but when I watched the cast again, I saw it just missed every shot.
It did. There was one in particular where it misses the house.
Yeah.
And I just break down in hysterics because it's a phrase, surely you can hit a barn door. It somehow manages to miss even that. But despite the IS-2, having 4 kills in like 10 minutes or something, you obviously win this game. I mean, you win the series 3-0. What is it about your Soviets on Crossroads that makes them so good?
I think it's not really my Soviets that good. I think it's just Aston played very bad this game because he was like
Do you think
a bit upset after the game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Game 2.
Yeah, so we're now talking, obviously, we've gone back to game 3, which is on Famenville Approach. And you pulled off. It must be said though, Nagano, you did pull off a beautiful flank. It was really nice.
Yeah.
But then I think I'm looking at the moment right now that Von Asten has a reload on his MG42.
I catched this MG on the reload time.
You did?
Yeah, I knew that.
There you.
I was waiting for the reload and.
Let's watch that again then. Jesus, I'm gonna play this for the fans because if that's the case, that's a very beautiful moment. So I'm gonna go back a little bit. I'm just gonna let it play. It's gonna take about 30 seconds. I'll let you know when the fans have heard it. An eye on this one.
I think so. Good push by those conscripts have done the Lord's work on the right-hand side. A great job of capping for these units to then be coming in. I'm really interested in the machine gun. He's not electing to put suppression on the flame engineers. It looks like it looks like the MG was reloading.
It was reloading. Couldn't get those bullets shaved over in time. Here comes the flamethrower. Flamethrower putting the burst down on the MG. MG. Oh, is surviving only just though. Is taken out. Pioneers can't recrew. They themselves are getting taken out. Von Asten in chat saying bullshit man as the Pioneers die and the MG is taken. And he throws in the towel. 4 minutes, 27 seconds. Nagano is going through to the GCS2 finals in September. There we go. I just played it for the fans again. I sound like I'm taking a shit. Nagano is going through to the finals. I take it you might have listened to the Mazza version. Mazza has a very good casting style, especially when he watches Russians.
Especially the dances.
Especially the dancers, indeed. I'm sure everybody's seen his dances. He's a fun character, right?
Yeah.
Oh dear. So that's really exciting, man. It's so great that you're coming to GCS2. I have a lot of confidence that you and I will be able to get the visa sorted. I think it's going to be good. Your passport's, pretty much in the post now. The Russian authorities say it's coming, so that's good. So man, it's hype. It's all hype from here.
Yeah, I'm glad to. I will do my best to be there. That's for sure.
Definitely. And thanks, Co1. I've got a few questions here from Reddit that people asked. We'll go through the silly ones first, and then we'll ask the one about Company Heroes 1, because I think that's quite interesting. The first question, Nagano, from Alpern. Do you even lift?
Yeah, for sure. Every day.
You do? Amazing. So what's your... what do you bench, bro?
I'll do some push-ups.
Oh, you
100,
100? Amazing.
Yeah, that's one time.
You sound like an ex-military guy.
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't talk about this publicly for visa reasons. From Sturm Tiger Gaddafi, the real Daddy G. Who do you think would win in a street fight between you and Kimbo Madslice?
It depends if Kimbo might manage to go to the Manchester.
Okay, so it's going to be a Manchester street fight.
I will win for sure.
You'll win for sure. So we've got Russian guy, ex-army, or a Polish teenager. It's an interesting...
Sound funny.
Interesting fight, that is. Okay. We got one from Lurtz. Oh, this is a real question. From Lurtz 3019. As an OKW man, do you think Ver with Mobadef is stronger than OKW at the moment? Or are people not just playing OKW right?
I think it's depends all about the map which you play. Some maps is good for OKW and some are good for Wehrmacht.
Interesting. Dev M is very similar in his analysis. He says everything is so map dependent.
Yes. Map is very important. I think it's even more important than faction.
What do you think about the maps at the moment for the tournament maps? I mean, do you think Kolodny and Firma and Crossing in the Woods belong with the other two?
No, I think the Feyman and Crossroad is much better than forward to. Even though I prefer to play Hold Inferno.
Really? So you're not a fan of Crossing in the Woods out of those 4, right?
Yes. And I also like my Koch 1 maps. It's Langer and Angarit.
Same, yeah. I miss the old Co 1 system of the territories, the standard territory points. I mean, I miss the strategic territory points. That comes on nicely to our last question. As a veteran of both games of the franchise, what are your suggestions for Co 3?
I don't even think about Koch 3.
You
I
don't?
think when Koch 3 realized that I'm not gonna play anything.
You
I'm
think
not gonna play PC games.
you'd be too old, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Same. But let's just talk about Co 1 and Co 2 then. I mean, is there anything you wish Co 2 had from Co 1?
I think they are kind of similar and have some bad sides and good sides, each one.
Fair enough.
My favorite game was the Koch Online. It was an amazing game.
Really?
Yeah.
With all the gladiator riflemen and veteran
Yeah.
French grenadiers and all that crazy stuff.
It was nice.
I bet it was. I wish I'd been around for that stuff. Okay then, so that's everything for this interview, and there's nothing left, Nagano, than to wish you good luck in your training.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to meeting you in September. And thank you for doing this interview.
Thank you too. Goodbye.
Goodbye.